reason I told her to do that is because that's what most agents do. Some agents, I have agents in New York, they're not going to promote a listing if they're not getting paid on that listing. I have brokers that actually say to me, what is the commission on that listing? So if you're an investor, don't look to get a deal. Put into account like a 6% commission that you're paying your agents to promote your property. Put that in, factor that in, and you will close more deals faster. Don't be the investor that doesn't want to pay your agent, because you're not going to attract a top quality agent to work with you. That's very, very important. And remember, this is your team. This is your team. You're building your power team. So to build your power team, you have to empower your team to be able to do the things you need them to do to get you to the place that you want to get to, so you can close more deals. And to me, it's very, when people say to me, I'm a real estate investor, but they never have closed a deal. No, you're not a real estate investor yet. An investor is somebody who makes, a real estate investor is somebody who makes money from investing in real estate. So you're either investing to become a wholesaler, a bird dog, you're becoming a person that fixes and flips, you're becoming a person that buys and holds. But until you successfully close a deal, you're just practicing the art. You've not accomplished a deal. So you want to get to a closing table, and now you can say, yes, I am a real estate investor. And I promise you, if you have strong real estate people on your team, they make your job easier, not harder. And go ahead.
I'm sorry, and
No,
maybe
no,
you
go
touched
ahead.
on this while I stepped away, so if it's redundant or
No,
repetitive.
it would just be good.
Okay, so trust your team as well. It's not a good thing to be an investor that you choose to not only choose a team, but you're spending your money on that team, which means that you've seen something in them that allowed you to say, okay, well, I think that they're worth whatever it is that you're paying them. But then you question everything that there's a difference between questioning because you want to understand how so that you can start doing it and you're coachable. And there's also a difference between questioning because you're skeptical. Those are two different things. You have to realize that if you're doing something that you've never done before, chances are whatever you're being told to do, it's going to be a little unsettling because that's not your field. You don't know why it is that they're making these decisions or coming up with these ways of doing certain things. So you have to be okay with that. You have to understand that let's say you're a nurse. If somebody came to you and said, hey, this person has the flu, what do I give them? You'll probably be able, you don't need to go to a mentor for that. You'll probably be able to say, okay, well, you need to give them this type of medicine with this needle, and you'll be able to do it on your back, with no problems. However, if you are an agent and you're not, or excuse me, if you're just becoming an investor, you wouldn't be able to answer those questions. So that would be like me going into the doctor's office and they're telling me what I need to do because this is what they've come up with, this is what you have, this is how we need to fix it. But then I'm questioning why it is that they came up with that, and not to better understand, but more so to be skeptical and kind of go back and forth about it. That's not what I came there for. I'm now a patient, and so I have to trust that the doctor knows what it is that they're doing. And so I'm not going to keep going back and forth with them as to why they need to hurry up and get me into, surgery right away. By that time, you're going back and forth when you could have already been saved. So I think that that's very important to let any new investor know. Certain things you won't be comfortable with, but it doesn't make any sense for you to choose a team, go even further and put your money behind that part of the team, but you don't trust that team as to getting done what it is that you need to get done. And I see that a lot. Not necessarily with me, but I have a lot of people who work with investors as well, and we do discuss certain things, friends of mine, things like that, and that comes up a lot. So I think that's a perfect important to touch on.
It really is. And the thing is, again, even with her office, they have weekly trainings. They have, an area in their office where people sit and they discuss what they're going through. And sometimes real estate investors, we get a bad reputation, and some of it is because they have to get a license. When I'm wearing my broker hat, that's a licensed person. But when I'm an investor, I am not a licensed person as an investor. Even though I tell people, listen, I've had a broker's license, I've been in real estate X amount of years, but a new investor they don't have a license. And so it's very easy for somebody to say, I'm an investor, and they've not even taken the first training. Everything they've done is free. They watched a video that said you can be the greatest wholesaler.
HGTV.
Exactly. They watched a show on HGTV, which they don't understand. Those shows are staged. Nobody is listing a house, fixing it up, and selling it in 30 minutes. You can't even get to it. I've purchased property in Florida where it's a title company, and you go in there. Even the closings that I've had in Florida where it's a title company, they don't even take as long as some of the title stuff that goes on in Georgia, and I still took 2 hours to get that deal done. So don't buy that hype. And so when people say they're an investor and they don't want to get the training, then they go to an agent and they're like, find me this, find me that. And they're not even pre-qualified. They don't have proof of funds. They don't even know how to get the deal done. You've just wasted the agent's time. And so that's why mentorship is important, because you get step by step of how you need to do it. Very, very important that you understand that. And so when you come across a good agent, like Shannon, you want to work well with that agent, and you want to know that this is somebody that's on your team to help you achieve the goals that you wanted to achieve. And because they have a license, they have access to real estate law and certain things that they have to follow. So they can't always do things your way unless it's legally correct with the licensing law of Atlanta. So you want to think about that. And so that's another reason why you get a lot of foreign or out-of-state investors, because they know you're going to handle things for their best interest. If you were going to, what is the one thing you want people to know about working with a real estate agent and they're an investor? Like what do you think we might have left out that they need to know?
I think we were pretty thorough in regards to everything that we've just discussed. I don't think we've left out anything. I think it's just really good to find a fit for, who you work well with. And then also be very clear. It's better to give too much information than not enough. It saves time for everyone involved. It saves time for you, the investor, and the real estate agent. Also, I think it's important to kind of not just, want to seek out new things. Sometimes your real estate agent might have the properties that you're looking for already listed. So I know that one of my listings on Mason Turner, that's actually been a great investment deal. So, you want to look at things like that. You want to think outside the box. The first question you want to ask, because that's something that's easy. You don't have to put too much looking behind it. The first question you want to ask is, hey, do you have anything that might fit what I'm looking for? And if that answer is no, then you want to go to, okay, well, this is what I'm looking for. Are you able to help me find it?
And be open, because one of the things that I tell the people that I mentor that are in the Yellow Letter Mentoring Program, we want you to have the full gamut. We don't want you, if you just focus on fixing and flipping, you're always going to be working. And the whole thing about becoming a real estate investor, you've heard my story over and over. One of the reasons that, mortgage, not worrying about my mortgage when I bought my first home is because I already had a multi-family, a 4-family that my mother chose to live in. and one of the apartments paid for her lifestyle and the other two apartments paid for my lifestyle. And yet she lived in there, and it was her home. And then I invested in other stuff. So be looking for stuff you can buy and hold. And the other great thing about now, like Shannon just mentioned, this property on Mason Turner, that's an area of Atlanta that is really up and coming. It is an area that people, you can't find anything in there. And when you do, people are having like bidding wars over
Yeah.
it.
And I have properties all over. It's not just, I mean, Mason Turner is, you know, a hot listing right now, and it is because of location and pricing and possible equity that's coming out of that property and the space that it is in, you know, how far it is from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But I've got, you know, condos, you know, in Dunwoody that have 24-hour concierges and pet parks. It just depends on what it is that you're looking for. Any investor, there's like I said earlier, there's different things that they're looking for. You know, they might have a clientele that's for people who are in retirement, and so that type of client that they have is looking for something totally different. You know, I've gotten listings that are all near the airport near Riverdale, so there, you know, there's several different properties that I actually have outside of Mason Turner. But Mason Turner, as far as an investment property goes, I would say the top two that I have are Perimeter Way and as well as Mason Turner.
And one of the other things that you mentioned is the type of investor. Some investors right now, the hottest thing you can do is buy property you can Airbnb, because I'm a strong believer on building cash flow. So you might, some people, you're watching this program and you have money sitting in your IRA. I would say take a portion, invest in a coaching program, but also take a portion and buy a property you can hold. Buy a property that you can have somebody like Shannon run it for you and Airbnb it. And she's doing all the work and you're collecting the check. You put your money out and now you're getting a return on it. And these are so many different things that a licensed, strong agent will do for you. So I don't want you to add on your team just an agent. I want you to think of a power team, and that's the team that's going to help you achieve all your goals. And it's doable. You don't have to get, you know, I always say this when I go into churches to mentor them or to help them find their building, and they say to me, you have to speak with our financial department. And I say, well, who's running your financial department? And they'll say Deacon Smith. And I say, well, does Deacon Smith have any experience in finances? They say no, but he's the only one that doesn't have a job, so he's got the time to do it. So, and then they say to me, their finances are out of order. Well, yeah, because the person that you've got in charge of it didn't run their finances well. How are they going to run yours? So don't get yourself an agent just to say I have an agent. You want a powerful agent that's accomplishing stuff, an agent that believes in being mentored and is going to stay on top of the latest licensing laws, whatever programs. They're going to stay on top of the trends of real estate, what's happening. A person that not only, you know, is in real estate, but they've seen the value enough to invest in their own home and to invest in property for themselves, and somebody that was able to use their real estate to get out of a 9-to-5, especially if you're in a 9-to-5 yourself, or if you're somebody that says, you know, I'm a real estate investor and I want to be financially free. Find somebody that's already accomplished a lot for their age bracket. Like, to me, I think Shannon's done some great things along with her husband, because there's a lot of 30-year-olds that don't even own an apartment, let alone their own home, investment property. And you know, as I alluded earlier, she says she wants a certain car on her dream board, but she's driving a pretty nice car already. You know, so those are not things that are you want to look at that, because somebody can't go represent you and show up shabby. So all of these things are very important. I hope that we've been able to help you. And so Shannon, again, if somebody wants to connect with you, if would you be open to any of them asking you questions as investors or agents?
No, I will say that if you have a question, it would be better off for email. Only because, again, I have a lot of clients, and one day one of you will be my client, and you'll actually appreciate.
A lot of you will be her
right.
clients.
You'll appreciate the fact that if I'm with one client, I'm dedicated to that client, so I'm typically not able to answer the phone. If you're already my client and that call has to, it has a time frame or time is of the essence, then I will answer the phone. So I never want to be with one client and I'm getting a phone call and it's just a question. I would prefer to kind of answer that through an email. However, if it has to do with actual, decision-making things and, again, time is of the essence, then I do not mind a phone call. My number is going to be 404-655-2308. Again, that number is going to be 404-655-2308, and the email address, I'm going to repeat it twice because it is pretty long. However, it is spelled how it sounds. It's dreams2realitykw@yahoo.com. So that's D as in David, REA, M as in Mary, S as in Sam, TOREALITYKW@yahoo.com. Again, it's going to be dreams2realitykw@yahoo.com. So I would be more than willing to assist you guys either by phone or by email as well.
And if they want to follow you on social media, how would they do that?
You can look up Dreams to Reality, and it's also Shannon Harmon. So that's SHANNON. Again, it's SHANNON. And the real estate, it's my daughter's name, which is Arya's Dream Homes, at kellerwilliams.com. And that I might need to get some clarity on. However, if you email me, I'll definitely confirm it. But Arya is spelled A as in Apple, RYAS, Dream Homes. And so that is my Keller Williams site that typically has the properties that I have listed and things of that nature. But I would prefer for you to also look me up on Facebook or Instagram, which is Shannon Harmon, SHANNON. Last name is Harmon, HARMON, and that's also Dreams to Reality.
And if you make smart decisions, you will be very, very happy when your house shows up on her social media, because then you'll be able to sell it. And another thing that I think makes a difference with Shannon's listings, and they go pretty quickly, because we've thought this thing out. As I said, I've been in the industry for a long time, and she has been in the industry for a long time, but we've thought this thing through. And one of the reasons her properties go so quickly is because she has professional pictures taken of her homes.
Right.
And she doesn't just put anything out. I know even in New York, the properties that sell quickly or faster are the ones that have professional pictures. I know some people that say to me, this person has a similar unit to mine, a co-op. I had this happen recently with an agent, and I called her about her home, and I said, does it really look like that? And then I called another agent who had the same exact pictures, and she said, no, they stole my pictures off my site and pretended to be theirs, because professional pictures make a big difference, and they're not that expensive, but it pays you it's worth it. So if you're really looking at building your business in a professional way, this is somebody you want to speak to when it comes to professional pictures, or really getting your business and relationship with a real estate person. Okay, I see some thank yous. I don't see any questions. We have the camera a little further away so you can see both of us. And you have Shannon's contact information. And if you have a friend or somebody that I have a young lady that I'm actually going to be sharing this with, because I met her about 2 months ago and I gave her my card and we communicated, and she just told me that she's ready to purchase right now. And so I'm going to be referring her to Shannon, because I know she's going to be treated correctly. And go ahead.
And not only just for that as well, as a realtor, I have great relationships. So again, we do have a team, and that is included for mortgage broker, loan officers, rehab, construction, picture,
Title companies.
right, professional pictures. Anything, my tagline is all things, always all things real estate. So we anything that has to do with real estate in any step in any part of it, if we can't do it, we can actually refer you to somebody that we would be willing to back. So I think that's very important as well.
Okay, so guys, take a minute, watch this. If you know somebody, share it. I'm going to be sharing this video, like I said, with this person, because I want to make sure that they contact Shannon and go ahead and proceed on what they have to do to purchase a home. You want to add a real estate agent, a realtor, a real estate broker to your team. Everybody watching, that is one of the most important power pieces of your team. And so with that being said, go out there and make some money doing real estate, everybody. And that's the people on Periscope as well. We just encourage you to do what you got to do, okay? And then you can live the life you want. Talk to you soon, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shannon.
You're very welcome.